This works.
Recording in progress. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So good evening, everybody. I open this meeting at Gateway North Neighborhood Council board meeting on Tuesday, March the 10th at 7:26 p.m. Rosalie, would you take the roll call, please? And I apologize first for the delay. That was technical difficulties under nobody's control. So go ahead, Rosalie. Thank you.
Joan Jacob,
Present.
Alonzo Williams,
Here.
Rosalie Preston, present, Manjani Nixon,
Here.
Ronald Robinson,
Present.
Bart Billingmeyer hasn't.
Here. Here.
Oh, okay. Dave Trejo,
Here.
Harvey Powell,
Clifford McLean.
Here.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Here.
Marvin Bell,
Here.
Barbara Tyson Frazier, not present. Shirley Johnson, don't see. Jeremy Guyton. Oh, did Jeremy come back? No.
No, I don't see Jeremy on here.
Yeah. Jackie Jackson.
Jackie was on our meeting earlier, but I don't see her back
Yeah.
either.
Okay. Vanessa Simmons.
Hello.
Is Vanessa?
Vanessa's on. I think she just unmuted herself with a mute
Okay.
button.
Frankie Mays not here yet. Cliff McLean.
Cliff. Here.
Okay. All right. So we do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Joan, I have a question.
Eva, yes.
What
go
are we
ahead.
doing about the other people who aren't on that were?
We're trying to contact them while we're meeting.
We don't really want to hold it up any longer if we can avoid it, Eva. But yes, we are trying to get hold of them and let them know that they can now get on if they try again. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So our next item on the agenda is general public comment, and we have 4 public people, or 3 public people, that are within the neighborhood council subject matter jurisdiction, and each speaker will be allowed 2 minutes only per speaker. Okay. Does anybody have their hand up for a public comment on the attendees? No. Okay, so then we will go ahead with the next one, which is a report from our police officer, Officer Hamoka. So is Officer Hamoka on right now, Rosalie?
He's having trouble getting on. I've asked him just to call in. So
Okay.
Hello. I am just from the public, and I wanted to just do a quick comment.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ken Carson. I'm here representing Community Action for Peace, which is the Willowbrook County 90059 representative. And I am here as a community liaison, and simply have been asked by our CAP steering committee to attend meetings that may affect our community. I've been to this meeting before with some issues and have none tonight, but I did want to say hello to everyone. And I did read your little note about if you're paid to be at this meeting. I am not. And so
Okay.
just wanted to say hi to everyone, and we can continue.
Thank you. Welcome. And yes,
Yeah.
glad you're here. We can hear easily. So then, is our officer Hamaoka on yet, Rosalie? Not yet?
I see a phone number on here. I'm going to allow this 213 number. Let's see if that's.
Yeah, Officer Hamok, I'm here.
Oh, here we are. Yes, good. Please go ahead and give your report.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Officer Hamoka. I am one of the senior lead officers in Harbor Gateway North area, anything from 120th Street north to Imperial Highway within Southeast Division is my area. So as really quickly, just for Officer Leva, I'm kind of speaking for him tonight. He just wanted to pass along the word that he's been working really hard with the Pacific Rail, particularly behind Rosecrans Park off of Redondo Beach in Vermont. So he's done probably at least 2 or 3 separate cleanups. And so he's continuing to monitor it, trying to make it, it's a long stretch of railroad, but he's doing his best to try to make sure that these encampments don't come back. Also in the area of 117th and Figueroa, he's done a cleanup with Caltrans and also Union Pacific. So again, it's an ongoing effort trying to coordinate cleanups the best we can on the same day with both those entities. A lot of times it's difficult and not able to happen, but we do our best. For myself, I'm doing the same. I've had a really good relationship and with Caltrans lately. They've done a remarkable job in my area from 117th Street to Imperial Highway and Figueroa, especially in the areas that intertwine the 105 and 110 freeway. They did a really good job. For now, that whole area is pretty much free of encampments, which is great because, as I said in previous meetings, it's contributed to the number of fires that have broken out over there. So I'm hoping to keep maintaining that. Also, in particular, the railroad tunnel that it connects Main Street to Broadway underneath the 105 freeway. That's been really challenging for me too, as lately. Crime trend updates. My biggest trends of crime are kind of like right in that area over the past 6 weeks have been in that area I just described where the encampments are. Now that they're all clear, I'm going to be really interested to see what that effect that has on my property crime in particular, motor vehicle thefts and just petty thefts. Just a word, like a side note, is that our office is going to be assigned to the Academy Awards towards the end of the week, this weekend, and probably on Monday as well. So if you do call us and for some reason we're kind of slower to get back to you, we apologize. We're going to be tied up on that with Sergeant Spangler up in the West Bureau. But that's about it for me. If anyone have any questions, happy to answer it.
Yeah, I have. Do you hear me?
We
I
can
can
hear
hear you.
When do you have the meeting, community advisory council or whatever you call it?
Oh yeah, the CPAP meeting. So that's, I believe, I'll double check, but it's on the 4th Tuesday of every month. It's at 6:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. and that's at the firehouse across the street from Southeast Station. Officer, I'm blanking on his name right now. Our Curl officer in charge over there. He has all the information on that. If you text me or want to text me, I can make sure and leave me your email address. I can make sure that he forwards you all the pertinent information if you want.
Okay.
Sir Dawson Hill.
Dawson Hill. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Dawson. So he's the one that's in charge of all of that, and he puts out the flyers. You can make sure that you're on the monthly distribution, not just for that, but for other events as well, so you're well informed.
Okay. The 4th Tuesday at what time?
It's at 5:30 p.m. Give me 1 second. Let me firm up that information just so I don't want to give you bad info.
Rosalie, Jeremy has his hand up. I think he's possibly on the phone or wanting to let you know.
I've been trying to let him in and it's
Okay.
not working.
You know what, sir? I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I'm trying to see on my calendar. I just
I
can't
think
see it right now.
it's on the 17th at 5:30.
Okay, very good.
Mhm.
17th at 5:30 p.m. Okay.
Right.
So it's not, it's the third, it's not the fourth Tuesday.
That's not the
Very
fourth
good.
Tuesday. Let's see.
If it's the 17th, it's the third Tuesday.
But you can call in, right? You don't have to attend in person.
There's no
No.
call-in.
You
No,
need to
it's
team in person.
in person.
Sorry.
See here.
Okay.
I
You
did.
know what?
Yes.
January 20th.
Let me see if I can.
I'm just checking my calendars.
Okay.
Yeah, the third Tuesday of the month, the third Tuesday. So the last one they had that I have on my calendar was January 20th. That's the third Tuesday. It'll be the third Tuesday at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions for Officer Hamilka? No? Okay, in which case I will say thank you very much. And we appreciate your being here
Yeah.
so frequently. Okay, so our council district person is here.
Yeah, hi, it's Rudy.
Oh, Rudy, there you are. Okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. So just really quickly, I'm going to go over some stuff that I've been the office has been working on in Harborgate North. We're getting a lot of calls from folks over off of 140th about the Caltrans easements. From on Hoover from El Segundo to about 135th Street. So that's those are Caltrans easements. I've reported them a couple of times. I have let Caltrans know that they need a weed abatement. But with the weather we've had, they haven't been able to go out there. But Sydney Lead Officer Hamoka, Leva has asked our clean team to help. So out of courtesy, our team started on El Segundo and Hoover. So they're working on it once a week at this time to make sure that the area is clean for the neighborhood. I wanted to touch on a little bit about one thing. Hello?
Hello, who's trying to speak?
We had some background noise coming from someone, so I was just muting.
Okay, if you could have background noise, would you mute yourself unless you actually want to speak? Okay, thank you so much. Yes, go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah, no problem. 135th Fifth Street improvements, 135th and Estrella. I just wanted to say that the conditions on 135th Street have dramatically changed compared to a year ago. That's thanks to, I want to thank our senior lead officer, Layla, along with coordinated efforts between us and sanitation. So I just wanted to let y'all know that that area looks really good right now. I'm going to continue to monitor it to make sure it doesn't go back to how it used to look. I also wanted to touch a little bit on Gardena Boulevard. Our Clean 15 team is still out there weekly, cleaning up between Figueroa and Vermont. An area that I am concerned about right now that I'm still working on right now is Denver and Gardena Boulevard. That sidewalk that's on Denver, closest to Gardena Boulevard, is kind of like one of my chronic issues. I do report it often, but the issue is that when there's vehicles parked in the way, sanitation won't pick up the bulky trash items on the sidewalk because they don't want to damage a vehicle. So what I'm going to have my team do is that whenever I see it get worse or really, really bad, I'm just going to have the Clean 15 go out there and clean it. They just did a cleanup there last week or 2 weeks ago, where they went up there and swept up the area, did a weed abatement, and picked up all the bulky trash items. I'm going to do the same thing for 127th Street in Figueroa. That street has a lot of issues with abandoned vehicles, and a lot of trash. I've noticed since we did the alley cleanup on the El Segundo side of that street, it's remained clean, but the alley closest to the apartments on 127th always has a lot of illegal dumps in it. But next week, my team's going to go out there and put up signage on 127th. So they'll temporarily restrict the parking there so they're able to do a really good cleanup and weed abatement through that corner. And then one piece of news I wanted to share is that Redondo Beach Boulevard from Orchard Avenue to Figueroa Street is finally getting resurfaced. Thanks to my boss insisting that the project be prioritized. The segment from Vermont Avenue to Orchard is not going to be resurfaced yet because that one needs more capital improvements, meaning that the BOE has to go in and put in curb cuts on the streets between Vermont and Orchard. But everything going east and west between Orchard and Figueroa is going to be resurfaced starting this weekend. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And then I continue to monitor the areas. A lot of areas are starting to look a lot better. I'm starting to have a lot less care pluses or encampments on city public right away. I am working with Caltrans and Union Pacific along with Officer Leva and Officer Homoka to make sure we keep an eye on the encampments on their jurisdictions and their property. And so if anyone has any questions, please let me know.
Rudy, I think I had my hand up before Bart, but
Boo.
yeah, I wanted to just I was clapping and I was on mute for the Redondo Beach Boulevard repavement. I think that is just personally want to say that's huge. So thank you and your boss and the powers that were to do that. So thank you. My question, or just I guess follow up from our last meeting, our last couple of meetings, was on the corner of Figueroa and Alondra. If by chance this kind of street takeover, donuts, the car debris. I know you said you were going to drive over there after last meeting. Just curious if you had any kind of follow up, or it was kind of clean. And then today I saw a bunch of parts over there. Just wanted to keep that one on your radar too. That's Figueroa and Alondra.
Yeah, I drive. It's I have to keep it is on my radar because of all the palm fronds that are on it in the alley on Alondra and Figueroa, just west of there.
Right.
I'll keep it, and I get those collected all the time. So I do drive in the area. So yeah, it's on my radar. I'll make sure I have my clean team check it out this week if there's any debris out there.
All right, thank you.
And Rudy, though, could you try to connect with the county? Because since that intersection is partly in the county area, maybe there's a way the city and county can work together on some traffic slowing measures for that intersection.
That's actually a really good idea. I will call Holly Mitchell's office and see if we can get something done faster there. Usually when it's on the Gardena side, Gardena is really good about Vermont, about whenever I talk to their engineers, they're really good about putting up signage on their side. So I'll reach out to county and see if we can work on some kind of traffic mitigation for that. Definitely.
Okay, thank you, Rudy. Okay, Bart, you have your hand up.
I did. Madge, I feel like you and I are on the same wavelength, so thank you.
Okay. Okay.
But I do want to. I just wanted to double check what were the on Redondo Boulevard the roads between which you said?
Yeah, Orchard in Vermont.
Okay. And then
So the repaving is Figueroa to Orchard, and there will be a delay from Orchard to Vermont because of the requirement to put in the
Oh yeah, sorry, the time change.
Yeah, no worries. And then as far as what we were talking about, Alondra and Figueroa, um, I'm curious. I've noticed in other like driving through Compton, and I've noticed at other intersections, they've put in, they're not quite speed bumps or speed humps, but there are road like in the intersection on each angle, it's like, oh, if you're going to turn left, you have to get inside of this. Like, I don't know how to describe them, but I've noticed them, and I'm curious if that is a thing we can explore, especially for these intersections that experience these frequent street takeovers. So.
It's something I can bring up with LADOT. I think I know what you're talking about. There's a couple of things I've looked at for other intersections within my boundaries within Harbor Gateway North and South that I've brought up to LADOT during our meetings, and a lot of it is not in their toolbox, or at the moment there's just no money for it.
Okay.
But again, if I'm able to work with county and we're able to kind of share the cost, I think that might be something we're able to work on. So I'll definitely reach out to my over with them.
Thank you. And it's just one of those things I've seen popping up, and I think, people have been saying it's like it has to be cleaned up after, so maybe we can keep it from happening, not have to clean it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rudy.
No problem.
Thank you, Bart. Eva has her hand up. Eva.
I do. Hi, Rudy.
Hi, Eva.
I wanted to ask about the lot that used to be the Edge of Town Motel. What's going on there now? Because when I passed today, there was an 18-wheeler or one of those big trucks on the actual sidewalk, not on the street in front of it, but on the sidewalk. How they got it there, they had to maneuver a lot, but what's going on there?
So yeah, there's a lot of issues with that. I know me and Pamela Thornton, she's the planning deputy and the director in the office. We did put in reports for code enforcement with LADBS. So they are being investigated. Unfortunately, a lot of the times these folks that rent out lots for trailers, they can be cited as much as, they could be cited a bunch of times, but because they're making a lot more money renting out the space, they pay their citations and move on. So we're trying to figure out who's buying the lot, as well as trying to get the LA City attorney involved so that we can close it down again. But we are working on it, Ava.
Again.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I know it's not your fault. It's been a blight for years, and they just keep switching from one thing to another.
Yeah, they don't have a certificate of occupancy for what they're doing now.
No.
It's the same thing like on Main Street and Imperial, or just south of Imperial. There's a bunch of trucks parked in this lot there, and it's something we've been working on for a couple of years now. The more they get cited, they pay it off, just because they're making a lot more money off of the renting the space anyways. Okay. So it's all going through the city attorney, and that's taking some time.
Okay. Thank you, Eva. And Clifford McLean, you have your hand up too. You have a question? And please, if you have a question, can you unmute? Am I muted? No. Okay, Cliff, do you have a question, and can you unmute yourself if you do? Okay. Then, okay. Thank you.
Now, 117th and Spring, I don't know what you can do other than ticket some people on it. But people just drive through, they don't even slow up. They just go right on straight through. the stop sign on Spring and 117th. And somebody at night uh, does donuts. I don't know. I don't know what the attraction is, but somebody just does donuts at that spot at night, you know. So
Okay.
kind of look in on it.
I'll again, it's not something that'll probably get done overnight, but I can put in a request for bollards and street and poles and stuff there. So I'll talk to LEDOT about it, 117th in Spring, and I'll go take a look at it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ronald has his hand up now.
Yeah, Rudy, I don't know why I'm getting this echo. But anyway, regarding Denver Avenue from 168 to Gardena Boulevard, is it possible that we could get a one-time where we can get all the cars removed from the sidewalk? And because that shrubbery needs to be cut along with the illegal dumping over there from the homeless over there. So it's more than even though the clean team can get some of it, all those cars that are parked, they're going to have to be removed at least one time, so we can cut it and then clear that sidewalk area, and then also clear the illegal dumping. But it's going to have to put some signs up there so people can park somewhere else, but at least for one part of a day till it's clean. Else it won't get clean.
So my team was out there last week with no signage, and they weed abated the parklets, and they also picked up all the illegal dumps there. What happens with that? Because I passed by there today. It's bad again. Not super bad. But what happens when it's a really high density area like that, and that's really that sidewalk is just like it's not really facing residential like apartments. It's kind of like someone's backyard, right?
Yeah.
It gets really bad again. So once it gets really bad again, I'll do the signage and have the team go out there and do a really nice cleanup for you.
It needs to be, the shrubbery is blocking it overhangs the sidewalk. It's not even passable because I've walked down that area, and it needs to be cut back. It also needs to be cut back along with the illegal dumping because you can't even walk the sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll work with my team to see if we can do we can restrict the parking so we can do a really nice cleanup there for you.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Rudy. I don't see any other hands. Does anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you very much. And we will go on to other elected officials here. Rosalie, is there anyone I'm not seeing?
There's Jose Ochoa from Senator Laura Richardson.
Yeah, okay. Jose,
Hello.
do you have a report or something to say? Yes, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'll be really quick. I just wanted to share an upcoming event that Senator Richardson is hosting. So she's going to host it with Assemblyman Mike Gibson. It's going to be a Tacos and Taxes event. It's going to be on Saturday, April 4th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It will be at the WLC AC Family Source Center at 1212 East 108th Street. Everyone in our district is welcome to sign up. It's going to be only by invite. I'll make sure to send you guys the flyer so you can have it. The only eligibility requirements for this event is your income must be under 69,000. It's only by appointment, so they won't be doing walk-ins, and this will be only for basic returns with W-2 or 1099. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, then I will ask Erica Doughty to take the floor. Erica, from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment.
Everyone, good evening. Erica Gathika Dowdy here. I am the Neighborhood Empowerment Advocate with the Los Angeles Department of Neighborhood Empowerment that is supporting Harbor Gateway North as well as 11 other neighborhood councils currently. I just have two very brief announcements. The first one is going to be a workshop coming up on Thursday, March 26th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is for board members. And if this neighborhood council is interested in utilizing Nextdoor to learn how to track engagement, increase invisibility, create polls, send emergency alerts as it relates to the neighborhood council business, we will do a full walkthrough on how to do some of those things. And again, if anyone's interested, that's Thursday, March 26th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. The next event is going to be the Empower LA Youth Conference, which is scheduled on Saturday, June 6th. This is where our department tells youth throughout the city of Los Angeles between the ages of 14 to 17, come to City Hall, learn about the neighborhood council system, and engage in workshops, a panel discussion, and we even have a resource fair where we invite other city departments and nonprofits to come and share what resources are available to youth. If I'm not mistaken, our very own Finesse Simmons attended this event last year or 2 years ago. So it really does provide a good overview and an opportunity to allow you to get involved in several different ways, even outside of the neighborhood council system. So registration opened last week. It's going to be open until April 24th. So if you know of any youth that is interested in attending the event, please encourage them to apply. At the top of the meeting, I did send the board an email with a handful of links, including those related to the youth conference. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer. But if not now, then I can be contacted via email. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. And now we go on to, are there any questions for Erica before we go on? No, I think, thank you so much. Department review of our 2026 priorities and goals.
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay. Oh, Marge, thank you.
Can you see that?
Yep. So
okay, I don't know who's going through these, but this is new, right? This is the first time I've seen this.
Right. So the first, we're looking at beautification and creation of green spaces. Beautify Rosecrans medians with trees and native shrubs. Partner with Environmental Charter Middle School, working with CD15 and the Bureau of Street Services and Streets LA. And murals, art, and green spaces to link the various Harbor Gateway North neighborhoods. Now, I don't think we had any particular, committees or people who were going to take steps towards any of these goals, priorities, nor even how we had broken them down as such, which was one of the things we were hoping to do at our retreat, but we didn't have, there wasn't enough time to get that far. So we can either discuss it right now to a certain extent, or we can have a special meeting later to go over goals and priorities, like a mini retreat, if you like, just looking at this particular item. So how, I would like some input on that. How do people feel about that? What would you like to do? Can we go around and everybody say what they
Looks
would
like
like to
Bart
do?
has his hand up first, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about just this particular one. I'm talking about the whole of them. Okay,
Well,
that's why I'm wondering about, excuse me, about having another meeting. So, or we could do one at each meeting, but it's going to take us a number of meetings to actually get through this whole lot. But you had your hand up.
yeah, so if I think, look, there's a lot on here, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that we all want to to engage with and
Mm-hmm.
uh, effectuate. But I think as far as what this list was, I think I would rather like beautification and creation of green spaces. Great, let's have a thing where we meet for that. Increasing stakeholder, like I would rather have
Yes.
one element that we address in these meetings, because of course these are all things we need to address. And then, as you were saying, it's like, oh, we wanted to talk about all these last time we all got together, and we didn't, because
Usually,
so
I'll interrupt you there. Usually at our retreats, we do. We do
sure,
go through this and we make smaller goals and we are able to get through this and put in our priorities
yeah,
to a certain extent. The problem was that we have never made small enough achievable goals, it seems. And that's one of the
right.
things we need to think about. So perhaps,
Yeah, and that's in what I'm saying is it's going to be more difficult to make smaller achievable goals if we try to tackle six things and break them down into smaller
okay.
achievable goals, as opposed to, so I'm just saying, as far as this question of beautification and creation of green spaces, I think this is a huge deal. I think a lot of things we talk about is, as far as dumping, as far as people caring about where they live, as far as the narrow strip that gets neglected between you know the north and the south. Like, I think this is something we can tackle, and I think it should be a priority. And I think it is worth its own meeting. And for the rest of them, let's figure it out. But I do think, as far as breaking up our priorities, I'm open, and I don't know about everybody else, but I'm open to, like, hey, let's have a meeting about this one thing, because if that's what we're here for. So that's
Okay.
what I want to say.
Thank you. Erica, is that your hand up, Erica? Yes.
Yes. If I can just make an observation here. So this was listed under reports. There really is no action item here, nor does it even say discussion, which technically we could. But and again, without knowing the intent, but because it's listed under the reports, I would suggest maybe just going through the list so that way for any board members or stakeholders who weren't in attendance at the retreat can kind of get an idea of what was touched on and then leave it at that. And, I would then further suggest that at a future meeting, if there needs to be an agenda item that says something along the lines, discussion and possible delegation of 2026 priorities and goals to committees or whatnot, then you all can move further there. But because it's just listed under the reports, perhaps it's just helpful just to review what we have.
Right, thank you. Actually, I was intending, I happened to read the first one, but I was in fact intending to read through each of them and then see how we wanted to progress or continue. But we have to come to some idea of whether we want to have a special meeting or whether we'll just do this at our regular meetings, which will take us probably to the rest of our term. So thank you for your input, and I will ask other people for their input as well, because it is a discussion, I think. Or can we not discuss it because it only says reports? Was that what you were saying, Erica?
Not sure what exactly the intent was in having it under the reports, but the item just says review of the 2026 priorities and goals.
Yes. So I took review, meaning how we're going to progress from here in order to make some decisions about it, whether we're going to give different goals to different committees to work on and then report back at the next one what their decisions are, or subcommittees, or what we want to do so that we can get on with it.
Yeah,
Okay, so
you know,
yes, who's speaking?
this is
Oh,
Ron.
Ron. Hi,
You
Ron.
know,
Yes.
the way I look at these are more aspiration items, and if we're going to really have a plan of action, I think that requires a separate meeting.
Yes.
Because if you're going to say beautify mediums, like what mediums are we talking about? We need to have, get down to one or two, and then we decide how we're going to attack that or beautify something. Because it doesn't, I mean, these are just goals and aspirations. It's not really actionable items at this point. So I think it needs separate, maybe a couple of meetings to get some action items if you want to have something that you're going to accomplish for the year.
Right. Okay. So let's go through them anyway. Thank you for your input too. So increasing is it you going
Yes.
up and down? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So increasing stakeholder engagement, participation, community connection, including the youth. This is as far as we have got. We haven't got any further than this. So I think what I would suggest is that we think about, in the meantime, we think about what smaller goals might be possible to get, so that when we do meet again, and I'm talking about each particular goal, that we have some ideas that we can put forwards. And one of the ideas I suggest, and nobody has to agree with me, is that we might have some subcommittees that can meet a couple of times before our next board meeting, or else we can have a special meeting, but we do need to go forwards with these. So everything is very vague, like beautify with trees and native shrubs, and how long do these things take? So these are all the things to keep in mind when you're going through them. And I think everybody has a copy, right? So Madge, could you go up so that we can see the others? Because we can't do all of these things anyway, but what can we do?
You should be able to see all of them on here, Joan. It's just one page.
Oh, it's just the one page?
Uh-huh. And I don't know if you wanted to read the bullet points that I'm highlighting, but this is
Yeah,
all under the increased stakeholder engagement, participation, community connection with the
yeah.
including youth.
Oh, yes, I see. I have the page here. Right. So each district representative will create an outreach event for their district stakeholders. Yes. And suggestions are voter registration for those turning 18, picnic, health fair, community yard sale, Senior Appreciation Day, Community Pride Day, Sports Day, Jobs for Youth, Emergency Preparedness, creation of safe walking zones near schools, LA 311 training, etc. And these are just small, relatively small goals that could be, are I would think, reachable. A survey to identify community needs, cert classes, outreach to our neighborhood council businesses, list of community organizations with which to partner, and increase Latino participation in the neighborhood council. Again, that's a really, really wide goal. So I would ask you all to put on your thinking caps and come prepared to discuss this either, as I say, at a special meeting, or as for who was it? Bart, sorry. These are large, there are a number of goals that we are looking at. And so I would suggest having subcommittees and to take up one of these items each, but that's how I feel.
Joan, Joan, it looks like Dave Trejo had his hand up next.
Yes, Dave.
Hi, everyone. I feel like similar to I think what Bart was saying, and I think I'm thinking back to Erica's presentation at the board retreat and talking about project management. Something that I think would help us as a board be more cohesive and have a larger impact is if we had a smaller focus. I don't think we've had that conversation. I think at this point, it feels like either the executive officers need to meet and just make decisions based off the board retreat, or we need to have another meeting where this is calendared and like it's the only agenda item that we talk out and then decide whether or not we're going to have subcommittees or small groups of people that are working on it. One challenge that I want to name from last time was I had people to partner with, but without having a contact sheet to like be able to text people and things like that. It was really hard to just communicate with folks because we're on Zoom and so we don't see each other. And so if we can get some communication and not have to rely on just like one person to send messages on behalf of everyone, it would help feel like we could be more collaborative. But these are all like lots of big goals. And unless the executive committee is just going to make some executive decisions or we're going to all have another meeting, it feels like we're going to be a collection of well-minded, intended people all trying to chip away at things instead of being a cohesive body together working towards one or two larger goals and all our other meetings feeding that.
Thank you. Yes, this is my suggestion of subcommittees was simply a suggestion. I'm just throwing out some ideas how we want to proceed following today's meeting. Obviously, we can't go into too much detail because it was apparently it's just a report. So the report being, I don't know that anything has been progressed since our retreat. And my point, I think one of my points is that time is going on. We're already in April for this year. Our term ends in another year, less than a year and a half, a year and a quarter, basically. So if we're going to do anything, we need to get started. Rosalie, sorry, Ronald, your hand has been up.
No, I think Rosalie's hand was up first.
Was it? Okay. Sorry, Rosalie.
I just wanted to mention that some of these, the outreach committee could organize, such as CERT classes and working with district reps on creation of, smaller outreach events in their area.
Has any of this been talked out with these committees yet, or was anything decided by these committees at the retreat? I don't remember that happening particularly, except as suggestions. So I don't know that we can actually, but I hear what you're saying, absolutely. But I think we can't go further than that and make a decision in this meeting. Ronald.
No, I was just going to say, it looks as that when I read these goals, they're more geared towards individual districts themselves and what they can do. But I think what we need to do also is have some items that as a council that we achieve. Um, because I mean, I can do individually some of the things items like in um, that are under stakeholder engagement, but what does that mean as far as the council as a whole? You know, that because I don't even know when we put the list of these things, are these uh, council responsibilities where they're going to fund these items, or these are just individual things that you want the district representatives to do? I think we have to tighten this up and see.
We have a number of committees, Ronald, and the idea is that groups of people should get together, or groups of people should take responsibility for addressing, let's put it that way, addressing what it is. It's how we get together. This is basically the question I'm asking. Can we decide tonight, Erica, that we will have a special meeting to where we decide how we're going to proceed? And I don't mean who's going to do what, but whether we're going to have subcommittees, whether we're going to have everybody talking about it together, or we're just going to decide on one specific goal. And then can we decide that tonight, Erica? That's what I'm asking you, because it sounds as if we can't from what you said. I hope
Yes,
this.
thank you for the question, Joan. I'm going to suggest that we don't, only because there's no action in the way that the item's listed. And then on top of that, it's just listed under reports.
Right.
So I would suggest that it gets agendized at a future meeting.
Can we have a special meeting to do that?
Sure, if it's at a future regular meeting or a
It's just
special
so,
meeting.
yeah, it's just so, as I say, time is going on if we want to achieve anything. And I find it frustrating that we had this retreat to get things underway. It was a late retreat anyway for various reasons. And before anything gets done, it will be almost halfway through our term. And then people go away and there's summer and what have you and various things. And anyway, so that's what I'm asking basically. Can we decide to have a special meeting to decide how we're going forwards? If everybody is agreeable to that, because some people say, I won't come to a special meeting, and that's fair enough. People are busy.
Yes, the board can call for a special meeting and take up these items.
Okay, thank you. So that is my suggestion. Anybody else with a suggestion of a better way to do it? Bart, you had your hand up, I think, or was it
Yeah,
Bart?
I'm not sure it was me or Arby, and I'm sorry, but yeah, I was going to ask what Erica was advising against, but I absolutely think we should take up a second meeting to discuss how we, implement things that would better our community. So
Okay.
I think this is something we should do.
Okay, thank you. Arby?
Yeah, because it's kind of like a lot of things, and I think everybody needs to maybe have an action plan and how to carry out, and that's going to take a lot of time as to break down who's going to do what and talk about dates and everything, and to be more detailed so everybody be on the same page as understanding. We work together as a group or we do something individual, and I'm looking like at the outreach to businesses. And, some areas have a lot of businesses and some don't. And then do we do this as a group, have certain people?
So we can discuss, so we can discuss all this, keeping in mind this is simply a report tonight.
Oh,
so we
I'm
don't
sorry.
go into
Okay.
too many.
Yes.
No,
So
I hear everything you're saying, and yeah,
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with maybe having a special meeting where we can focus on this.
And that
when
I can
everybody
do,
will be
right?
available.
Erica, say we're going to have a special meeting, or I'm not supposed to say anything about it and just call a special meeting.
I mean, holding a special or organizing for a special meeting is administrative. So, Joan, you or anyone else on the board can send an email, trying to figure out dates of which would work best for the majority to have a special meeting on this item. So yeah, that can be done.
Okay, but I can't do anything about that tonight. Just later, after this meeting is over, then I can decide.
I think that would probably be best.
Okay, thank you. Frankie, you had your hand up.
Yes, I was just wanting to say, since we're going to have a special meeting, could our representatives kind of like have some kind of idea, so when we all get together, we'll know where we want to head and what the need is for the area?
Okay.
That's
Okay,
all.
thank you. So basically, we have not progressed and not been able to, or we did not make our decisions about how to proceed further than having these as our general ideas for how to improve various aspects of our neighborhood. And that is my report from of our goals and priorities. And anybody else have any suggestions? Rosalie, you were saying something, I think, but your hand has gone down.
I just said that the outreach committee could work on some of it, but yeah, we just need
But
to
we'll
move on.
discuss that when we have our special
Yeah.
meeting. So I hope nobody is too unhappy about that. So please put on your thinking caps and until we meet again, and we'll make a final decision about how we are going to proceed. Thank you, everybody, for letting me put forward ideas and for your responses too. Okay, next thing is Charter Reform Commission recommendations regarding neighborhood councils.
Sharing my screen again, Joan, for this document.
Thank you. Okay, has everybody received this and looked at it? You want us to go through it, read it, what? This is
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize
yes. Go ahead.
that among these, so especially through the LANC, the Los Angeles Alliance of Neighborhood and Neighborhood Councils, that there were a number of recommendations from neighborhood councils. We didn't really, unfortunately, have time to get involved, but they brought it to the Charter Reform Commission, and not all of the ones that they had recommended were adopted, but all of these were, which is pretty impressive. And I just wanted to point out that the second one, neighborhood councils, regardless of the city's position, may deliver to any governmental agency a statement passed in a Brown acted public meeting at which there is quorum. The city shall create and require language to indicate the NC is speaking for itself and not the city. So this is an issue that will come up later in our bylaws revision. Now, so the Charter Commission has adopted this. It still has to go before the city council in order to get placed on the ballot. But there is a possibility that these items will all be on the ballot this November.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie. Any questions? Okay, I think it speaks for itself. Okay, approval of the HGNNC budget priorities letter. Or adoption of the our budget priorities letter. Okay.
Is this the Word document? I'm sorry. Yes.
Is probably.
Okay, the rest of these are PDFs. I'm just trying to get my screen here together.
Yeah, this is.
The original came in a PDF. These unfortunately are the planning deputy for Council District 15 sent some further suggestions after our letter had been posted. But I do think that we should incorporate.
Is it this one to?
Yeah, this is our
Okay.
Original letter.
Our current draft letter incorporating.
And we went over this at the last meeting, right?
Right. This incorporates what board members had brought out in the last meeting.
Okay, let me just.
And including things that Jeremy had suggested and
Okay, should we just look at the added things then? The Word document or?
right. Well, and Bart has something he wanted to comment on.
Bart?
I think this is just something I'm going to throw out, and we're talking about charter, and I know that we're talking about in the charter maybe splitting up and creating more districts, etc. But I was struck when Tim McCosker spoke with us that he was like, it felt like we were skipped over as Harbor Gateway North, and also as a neighborhood council, and just the language of the neighborhood councils shall give guidance, etc. And effectively, and a lot of this is, in my mind, leaning on, well, there's a lot, but the Prologis warehouse that nobody wants and the rezoning that won't happen. And then McCosker was like, well, I may disagree with you, and we have ways to deal with that, and it's legal. And I don't know that anybody has suggested that a neighborhood council gets a vote for their district, which I think is something to bring up. You know, if this is our district and we are in alignment on things, to have more of a voice than a suggestion to someone who doesn't listen to us. So I just wanted to bring that up as something to add.
I think your comments actually are with the the letter, the
charter reform, yeah,
recommendations. So can they be added into that area, Rosalie? Or is it
well, yeah, it's actually those neighborhood councils, that was one of their suggestions, that neighborhood councils have a much stronger role in what developments come into their neighborhood, which we used to have way more say in recent years. That's all been taken away a lot because of state laws. But at this point, there was an email from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment suggesting that people can still make comment to the commission, and I believe it's by an email. So,
and that's for the charter, you're saying?
That's
Charter Reform Commission. Yeah.
I'm wondering, as we're bringing this up though, is if this is something we can do as a committee to suggest to the charter, because I've put it as an individual suggestion, but
there was
for our neighborhood council to take positions on the charter.
I think as a neighborhood council, we would have to agendize it again, and then and put it.
Can I move to agendize that?
Well, we can try to consider it at our April meeting. It's getting kind of late, but we could.
How long can we still make suggestions to them, Rosalie? Is there a cutoff date? Do you know? I haven't.
Yeah, they're pretty much wrapping up, but I mean, we could still write a letter and it would go to our council member because the council still has to vote on it, so.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we could do that with our.
So we'll consider for the April meeting. Unless we have a special meeting before.
Well, we're going to have a special meeting beforehand anyway, which will bring me to another question for Erica as soon as we have discussed this letter. So the budget funding letter, Rosalie, is there any way you can say what has been added? You said there were some things added to the letter.
I should have put it in red, but basically it was a few things from what Jeremy mentioned the last time. So it's under Cultural Affairs Department, if you can scroll down to that. Cultural Affairs, funding for historic markers, noting cultural history of the Harbor Gateway North, and for a series of murals. And then Cultural Affairs advocacy for adding the Athens on the Hill neighborhood as part of the state's California Arts Council Historic South LA Black Cultural District. Rudy had asked that we put in for economic and workforce development, the creation of a Jedi zone for Gardena Boulevard.
That's excellent. Mm-hmm.
And go down to the end. I might have already, did I?
Well, we have everything on our.
Oh, Office of Historic Resources. Increase funding partnership for historical markers and wayfinding signage for landmarks of significance in the Harbor Gateway. So, and then if Madge can go to the other document so these were some things that Pamela had suggested on tree trimming, which, we do get a number of stakeholder
complaints or requests.
On that issue, and comprehensive tree inventory, funding for emergency removal of hazardous trees, and then the public safety, especially the creation of the task force because of double parking, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We have a number of streets where that's an issue. I don't know about this funding for increased enforcement during peak congestion. I mean, our issue is more
Well, we're just going to talk about
street takeovers. So.
Vote on this, yeah.
And then I don't know if it's on this one, but she had a whole bunch of specific things on the oil well issue that's particularly impacting homes along 129th. So I was just going to put that in as
okay. So
yeah.
then we need to vote on this if we've all had a chance to.
Yeah, so we'll just say the budget letter with the additions, recommended additions.
Yes. Are there any questions before we vote? Arby, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was wondering, did they add something about the sidewalks?
We always have the sidewalks in there already. Yeah, we just say that, if they would make funding every year and we would give them the listing, of the top ones for our area.
But then that's this been an issue for a long time, and some of them are really bad,
Well, we've had it in there every year, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
We do
yeah.
request it, and it has been, it will be requested again. So
Mhm.
I don't know if we can put pressure on our councilman,
Mhm.
whether they're allowed to do that. Okay.
Yeah, it's really.
Any other questions or comments about this letter? If not, we can go to, I call for a motion to approve this letter on funding. Arvi, you still have your hand up? Did you still have a comment? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You're okay? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Arvi. Okay, a motion? Oh, were you making the motion, Arvi? To approve this letter?
Well, I make a motion to approve the letter to the mayor with the budget.
Thank you. And a second, please.
I second.
Thank you, Eva. Okay, and if there are no further questions or discussions about it, we will proceed with the vote. Rosalie.
Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Alonzo Williams, Rosalie Preston, yes. Imagine Nixon,
Yes.
Ronald Robinson,
Yes.
Bart Bidlingmeyer,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Jeremy Guyton,
Yes.
Vanessa Simmons,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Clifford McLean.
Looks like Clifford's
Oh,
on mute, but I saw him say yes.
okay, all right. The motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Then on to our next item, which is approval of the 2026 bylaws updates as recommended by the bylaws committee. Okay.
And yeah, Madge, let me share my version, which has a couple edits in it.
Okay, go ahead, Rosalie.
So I want to note that on the near the end, there I've had difficulty in formatting, so I'm going to have to get assistance from the department. Because we added some language about the eligibility to vote for various positions, and it pushed the 17 board positions onto a third page, and it needs to have the heading at the top there, but
As it does on the previous page.
right, but with the previous two pages, but I just haven't figured that out yet. But you know, the department will fix that if nothing else.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, did you want to go over the other?
Well, there's so many.
Well, there are very few, relatively.
Well, I mean, mainly the committee, the bylaws committee, worked with the recommended bylaws template that the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment had provided, and just updated some of the language to make it a little more clear. We worked on the description of our boundaries just to make them a little more clear.
And then on page 9, I just wanted to mention that where the neighborhood council may not communicate their positions directly to county, state, and or federal legislators is from the department or the attorney's office, city attorney's office. So this may be changed if they take the recommendations of the Commission on Neighborhood Councils, the Charter Reform Commission on Neighborhood Councils. But presumably the department will let us know. And
right, so that
change-
statement that
yes,
neighborhood councils may not communicate their positions directly to county, state, and or federal legislators. If that passes in the charter, then that would
change.
no longer be relevant. So,
Thank you.
and then, oh, one other thing was that under the positions, we're changing the name of the community organization representative to organizational representative, and trying to redefine the definition of who qualifies, because the city clerk has made it very hard. Our intention is that position is someone who belongs to maybe a more informal organization, such as a block club.
I'm sorry, where are you?
Yeah, I'm trying to, I saw it and then let's see.
Okay, why don't we go in order?
Hold on.
And then everyone can follow, because you're losing me jumping around like this.
Okay,
You
it's
gave us a copy of the
we'll go
bylaws.
very quickly over one.
It's
page
page
by page.
8. Page 8.
Okay.
Okay, so we could have very quickly gone through whatever's in red, and then I would have been able to follow you, because you're jumping around.
Why wouldn't we do that anyway?
I can't.
Okay, and we can get on. So let's start at the beginning if we must. And we will go very quickly.
That's my suggestion.
Okay, so I mentioned the boundaries.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that.
Madge, can it go up a little more slowly? I think Eva may get lost as it bounces, as they do bounce, and until we've actually mentioned what it is. Like
Article 3, the boundaries seem self-explanatory.
Right. I think they're mostly self-explanatory.
Okay.
Maybe we can just go from one red thing, mention it, go to the next red thing.
Thank you. Article 5. That's stakeholders and community organizations. That seems self-explanatory.
Yes.
Okay.
And the next page, at large representatives. And explaining what a large representative is, administrative code section. No single stakeholder group should hold a majority of board seats unless extenuating circumstances exist and are approved by our department. That's self-explanatory, right?
Okay, I'm with you so far.
Okay. Okay. Next section. Thank you. I think we're the next slope. Proxy votes are not allowed. That is also if you step out from a meeting, somebody else cannot, even briefly, somebody else may not vote in your place. As well as if you're not there, somebody else may not vote in your place. Okay. So next, neighborhood councils may not communicate their positions directly. Oh, we went through this one. This is one where we had advice from the city attorney. Next, if board seat becomes vacant, so this is just and the procedures for following it. And again, this, I think, self-explanatory. And a little bit considered for removal from the board if a board member misses regularly scheduled consecutive board meetings, and the procedure for removing anyone from the board, just making it a little more explicit so it's easier to follow.
If a board seat becomes vacant, the board may choose to verify stakeholder status of an individual filling the vacant seat, or may choose to request the department do so following its internal procedure. I'm sorry. What is that
The internal procedures should be at the are written in the bylaws, and this is what we are trying to do. So we're going to officers, explaining the officers of the board and the positions that become on the board that comprise the executive committee, which we think we know: chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, and treasurer. And then duties: secretary keeps the minutes according with their Board of Neighborhood Commissioner policy.
And you are where?
We are coming to Article 7, committees and their duties. And under that, Green Committee is one that we have. The Environmental Justice Green Committee. And see the standing rules for areas of focus for each committee. Basically trying to make everything, to clarify areas that were not as requested by the department, and also as caused a little confusion on our council as well, on our neighborhood council. Okay.
Okay, because I'm looking at something in Article 8 that I guess we just discussed: special meetings.
Special meetings and other business. I understand from Erica. Is Erica still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Thank you. That special meetings can be a regular meeting just on a different date. And it can have more than one, as long as it's on the agenda, it can have more than one item for discussion or for voting. Is that right, Erica?
Yes, but I can add a little bit more context to that. So technically, a special meeting is defined as a meeting that takes place outside of the regular date and time of the board's meeting. Okay. In terms of the frequency of special meetings, they should be infrequent. So let's just say Harbor Gateway North for the next 5 months had trouble meeting on their regular meeting date, and every one of those months a special meeting was called. That would get flagged, because technically you're now hosting regular meetings on special meeting dates. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So yes, there can be more than one item on a special meeting, as we kind of touched on today. Hey, we see a need for calling a special meeting to discuss about, the board's priorities and goal setting. If the board sees that as a need, as some sort of urgency to have that special meeting, you all have the ability to do so.
Right. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
And we still have to have all these other things like community community question time and what have you, right? At the beginning of the meeting.
That's right. Yes, there's still standard language that needs to be on that because whether it's a regular meeting or a special meeting, it's still a public Brown Acted meeting. So the
Yes.
required language still stands.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Okay, it says here no other business shall be considered at that meeting.
As long as it's on the agenda, it can be considered, but it has to be on the agenda as it does for all meetings.
So is this an amendment to what used to be the bylaws or an enhancement? I'm in Article 8, Section B, and
yeah, it's really an enhancement.
and I'm wondering why it's in red.
It was added. I think there was some
what
confusion. There was some
before?
sorry, there was some discussion about what a special meeting could entail, and it can have other business. More than one item can be on the agenda, but it must be an item which is on the agenda, as it must at all other meetings. So it's possible we would take that out.
Take what out? I'm sorry.
That red addendum.
I thought that's what just got
shall be
put in.
considered at the meeting.
I thought that's what was just inserted.
It was. That's what I'm asking. Do you need to have it taken out?
I'm just wondering which one is now valid. What's in red or what's no longer?
Well, the reasons for the meeting will be on the agenda.
Okay.
Only those items which are on the agenda will be discussed.
Okay.
I think when we added the no other business shall be considered at the meeting was because there are different requirements in terms of advance notice for special meetings and regular meetings. Regular meetings necessitate 72 hours of notice. Special meetings require 24 hours, which can reduce how inclusive and public and transparent they really are. And so ensuring that no other business shall be considered at the meeting is reducing and limiting the scope of what's in those meetings so that the practice of having meetings that only require 24 hours notice is not a normal practice that can feel exclusive, that someone has to be monitoring all their emails and make themselves available within 24 hours if they're a member of the public to be able to attend those things.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. I got that.
Dave. Yes.
I got that. I understood that clearly. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can we go on to the next one? Smashing. Finances. Okay. And city officials, except through city officials on item number E on that. Got it? Okay. And most of these next ones, I think, are changing the word will to shall, which we agreed upon. And then the grievance process is written out in full. Okay, thank you. And then here's the map of our boundaries. And as Rosalie said before, this is just iterating a little more clearly what an organization representative is and And we did add or attend school for the youth representative who live, work, or attend school in our boundaries or in our council area. Thank you. I think we're nearly at the end. Again, this is just clarifying. Okay. Are there any more comments or questions?
I have one.
Yes, please.
Excuse me. I believe it's Article 10, Section 4, which is voter verification.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's
Go
where
ahead.
I think in terms of the bylaws, I was in the committee. I'm fine with everything that's in here. And for the most part, for those of you that are not on the bylaws committee, the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment pushes out a recommended template or a template for bylaws that has options like choose your own pathway for specific sections. And so for the most part, a lot of the changes really come from changes they're making that is either makes things more flexible or more restrictive based on what their advice is at that point. But we currently have method of verifying stakeholder status as stakeholders will verify by providing acceptable documentation. As someone who's has the privilege of being fully documented and not worried about my legal status, it still feels weird submitting my picture ID online in the way that it has it. And I feel like Section 4 is really disenfranchising for many people in the city of Los Angeles, given everything that's currently going on at a national level with immigration enforcement. To be a city that is powered by immigrants, to be a neighborhood council that is intended to give a voice to those that have the least amount of voice in a judicial process and an electoral legislative process, I mean, to require that extra step, I think is really just counter to everything that we try to do in this council. So I really like everything about the bylaws. I'm fine with it, with the exception of Article 10, Section 4. I would propose that we would move to self-affirmation because it's a fully compliant option explicitly listed in the department's own template. There's a ton of neighborhood councils in the city that already use it. It's legal, it's recognized, and in my opinion, it's more consistent with our mission to be inclusive and open to all stakeholders.
Okay. Did anybody wish to add to Dave's concerns?
No, I have a question. What
Yes.
page is Article 10 on?
I don't know. I can't see.
Because I seem to be missing pages,
Page 18.
which would account for my being confused.
Okay.
I don't have all the pages.
Oh, you don't have all the pages?
No, I do not. Which is why it was difficult for me to follow you, I guess, because I don't have all the pages that you're presenting on the screen.
Okay. Oh, but you can see it on the screen, right?
Yeah, it's very small, but
can you make it any bigger, Madge?
No, it's not just that one. I only have odd numbers.
Ava,
I don't have any even pages. I don't have a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8.
Ava, with the copy that you have in front of you, where are you opening it from?
I'm opening it from the packet that came with Rosalie dropped off.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me
That
see. I'm
says
looking at
bylaws, Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council.
Which? Yeah. because mine only has uneven pages as well. But
Yeah.
let's see
Uh-oh.
which page, what is under administration of election.
I don't know. There's quite a bit of stuff that I was missing that I was beginning to think it was me.
No. I'm just trying to find where that is on these pages. I did notice that, and then I forgot to say anything about it. Sorry about that.
It's page 18.
Yes, but Rosalie, we don't have a page 18 on what you gave out.
Well, it's okay. It's on the screen.
That's why I'm trying to find out which page it is with the way they're numbered.
I'm looking at the.
It's
sorry.
committees
Am I
and
in?
officers. Sorry, is it under elections?
In the Friday, March 6th email that came 4 days ago, I'm clicking on the 5th attachment that I see, the bylaws, and that does have 27 pages. It's the March 6th, 10:14 a.m. email.
They have
Drafts 3 to 4.
25, but they're all uneven, odd numbers.
But the complete version was emailed out in 2 different emails, though, is what Dave's
emails. Okay.
Yeah, I have the complete version.
The Friday, March 6th, 10:14 a.m. email has a complete version that I think we should take a minute to look at or confirm that everyone else has that.
Yeah. No, I seem to have. Anyway, okay. So looking at that, would you specify exactly where that is again, Dave?
It's in the
and
March 4th email. I'm sorry, March 6th email, 10:14 a.m. There's 5 attachments in the Tuesday, March 10 board meeting at 7 p.m. via Zoom is the subject. And there is a PDF called HGNNC Bylaws 2026, drafts 3 through 4, 2026. And then what I'm talking about specifically in that one is on page 19, which is section 10, article 4.
Right, I can't look at the screen and find my emails at the same time. So anyway, so does everybody have a chance to look at that and think how you have a response or anything?
I'm sharing my screen just so you can see the email that I'm referring to that I believe came to us.
No, I believe you. I just don't have it. And
it's
difficult for me to go through 27 pages on. I'm not even on a laptop. I'm on a Chromebook. So
I'm on a tablet too.
I don't have all the information and I can't go back and forth. I was trying to go back and forth to keep up, but now I know why, because it's not there. So what do you guys want us to do?
So the only issue.
Just read it again, Rosalie, please. What we're discussing at this point.
Yeah,
no, that's I would like to see what everyone else is seeing, Joan.
Well,
So I can either abstain from voting on this, and you guys get me a full copy. And if there's a problem, I can bring it up at a later date. But I can't vote on something, and I don't want to hold everyone else hostage because I don't have the information. So what do you suggest? What do you want me to do?
I think we did go through it one by one.
Yeah, but I didn't know what you were talking about when you were going through it. I couldn't find it.
But you were, I thought you were, it was
No, I was following what was on
Eva.
the pages that I have.
Right.
Excuse me?
But if you had even your device, whichever device you're on, open, then it was it was screen shared by Madge, and we went through each change and read it as well as being able to see it. So it was on the screen for you each time. So, and I imagined you were following it on the screen, which was what
No, I was following it on the hard copy.
I just want to interject, Rosalie is sharing her screen right now. That's one. And then I don't know if Finesse, did you have a question or were you trying to?
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was having trouble with my sound. I just noticed that I had noticed earlier when I was reading the bylaws that I had the same issue, but does everyone have access to the digital copy, the bylaws on
we had them on
like through email, right?
by email, I think.
They came
Okay.
through a direct email to the board, and also they were linked in the constant contact email. So every board member gets everything in two different versions electronically.
Yeah, I see it right now.
So
To clarify.
at this point, the last issue that's being discussed is Dave has raised the issue of under the elections, Section 4, the method of verifying stakeholder status. The committee recommended staying with our longtime practice of voters shall verify their stakeholder status by providing acceptable documentation. Dave is asking if board members want to reconsider that and go with self-affirmation, which means that stakeholders do not bring any type of identification to the polling place or submit online. And by signing, they just verify that they are a stakeholder. So he's wondering if if a majority of other board members want to see that change. Otherwise, we'll stick with what we've been using which is verification.
Yes. Thank you,
Okay.
Rosa.
Is
Is everybody clear on what we're discussing at this particular moment?
Yes, I am okay with that change.
Okay, thank you.
I think Barbara Tyson Frazier is listed as an attendee, not a panelist, just FYI.
Oh, she finally came on.
So does anyone want to add a comment on whether we should go with what the committee has recommended or the bylaws committee has recommended to continue with or change? Anybody have any other opinions?
I don't think there should be a change. I don't.
Okay, we will be voting as well. I just wondered if you had reasons that you wanted to give Dave one way or the other, so that we could, it would be a discussion more than a vote before we start voting. But thank you, Marvin.
Yeah, I think I gave my reasons.
You
At
did, yes,
least.
Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know if anybody else wanted to give a reason for or against that before we go.
Well, I'm not understanding. Okay, what I see on the bylaws is they saying they have to show verification, and Dave is saying not to show verification and go by their word.
That's right. That's
Yes,
been a
that's what it
question
said.
all the time, a choice all the time. We've been aboard, Arvi, and we have. I don't honestly remember if in the beginning we thought that by self-application would be fine and then changed it when we found that um, people were seemingly misunderstanding whether they were part of our neighborhood council or not, council area or not, whether they were eligible to either stand for the board or to vote for members of the board or not. But I think we had a negative experience from what I can remember, but it was a long time ago. So since then, we've always had some documentation, some kind of documentation, even if it's an electricity bill or, you know, something with your name and address on it.
Right. I understand that. It's been like that, and so the change should not to verify it.
Oh,
Well, I'm just
voting on the whole thing, or can we vote on just that bit? I'm not sure.
Well, as I see it, if you not verifying, then people who's not in this community can vote, and it's unfair.
We just have to take their word for it that they're in the community.
Yeah, see, no, that's not good. That's not a good procedure. It's
Okay.
not.
So there is the opportunity for people who are actually not eligible to voting, or even actually, I think if they stand for the board, they still have to prove who they are, but I'm not sure about that. Okay, so we can go ahead and we either vote for the whole thing, or you just don't vote. You say no for the whole thing, and because that change is in there right now. Okay. That makes sense? No, Ron.
So the options if we vote for the whole thing, but if one part we disagree with it, that would be a no. Or what's I'm not sure.
If we vote to accept the bylaws as recommended by the bylaws committee, then you are saying, yes, that's fine. I will go along with documentation is required in order to vote.
Okay.
Or, yeah. Okay.
And I just want to note that I'm trying to promote Barbara to a panelist, and she keeps declining. So, Barbara, please accept, so you'll be able to vote. Yeah, she declined again. So.
Okay.
I don't know, Madge, can you try to?
Yeah, I've been trying off and on and getting the same issue. Perhaps Barbara's on her phone, but.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
So
said
can we have a
that
second?
you accept it because it's not on the screen anymore. So you said if you accept it, you're accepting everything, or with an amendment, or what? What was that?
Basically, you are accepting the changes to the bylaws the bylaws as presented with their changes to you're voting, you approve of the accepted bylaws.
Well, I can't see it
Or
anymore.
the submitted bylaws, but
I can't see it anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter what I think.
I just want to clarify, Dave had suggested we amend something.
Oh yeah.
This vote is to. I'm asking, is this vote to say, yeah, let's approve? You know, I'm wondering about what Dave suggested, and if that gets voted out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I was wondering if I could make
yes.
if it would be possible for me to make a motion for folks to vote on that one issue, and then they can vote it up and down, and then we can approve all of them today without having to.
I think we make the amendment. Thank you. That's the word I've been searching for. We vote on the amendment and then vote on the whole thing with the amendment or without the amendment. Right? Erica, is that right?
I don't think she's with us.
Is she still with us?
She's probably
okay. Rosalie, Marge, anybody?
I do think that's what I'll motion to vote on the amendment that Dave had proposed.
Thank you. So you are making
We
that.
But
could
can
do
can
like
we do that?
Hold
can
on,
do
everybody.
a straw vote, an informal vote, just to get a sense
Are
on
we
that one.
allowed to do amendments on the informal votes?
Yeah, because I don't think we're really supposed to
I
do
don't think so.
an official vote.
We never done that on an amendment before?
We've done some straw votes to
Always
get
been straw votes?
just a consensus to know how to proceed and then.
Okay.
Should we do that?
Okay, so let's have a straw vote then. Who agrees to Dave's amendment, which is to have self-affirmation instead of documentation for the electorate?
Okay, I'm gonna do the roll call. Joan,
No.
Alonzo Williams, is he still here? Rosalie Preston, no. Magini Nixon,
Can I abstain on this one?
yeah.
Okay, abstain.
Ronald Robinson,
I'm gonna say
abstain was that?
yes.
Okay. Bart Billingmeyer,
I'm for self-affirmation.
okay. Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
No.
Eva Cooper Pace,
I abstain.
Marvin Bell,
No.
okay. Barbara Tyson Frazier, are you? Can you unmute yourself? Jeremy Guyton,
I am for the amendment.
Finesse Simmons,
Yes, I'm for the amendment.
Frankie Mays,
I abstain.
Clifford McLean, Clifford, okay, well, so right now,
The amendment passed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4 no's. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 yeses, so it's a tie at this point.
What we do in case of a tie, I have no idea. So can we vote with on everything except that issue? What can we do?
Well, we're, we have to approve some version tonight because there's a deadline, so.
Right. When's the deadline? April, right? April the 11th?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Did we
Yeah.
get everybody to vote?
Yeah, is it possible to do a revote if people are reconsidering?
Can I
What
also?
we could possibly do if we have that special election, we could vote on the bylaws and that amendment. And
Well, I think
whatever
it's kind of
And the other
Okay.
thing was
Is Alonso still?
I'm sorry, Rosalie, I can't hear you. What did you say?
It looks
I
like
make a motion that we vote
Sorry,
on
one
the.
person, please. I'd like to listen to Rosalie at the moment. Rosalie, can you say what you were saying?
Am I muted or?
No, no.
Okay.
Rosalie, can you please say what you were going to say? Or
I
else
just wondered if Alonso is still here or Clifford. So if they,
okay.
because we couldn't hear their vote, or I don't know if they're still.
Don't know.
present.
Okay. Dave, because this is taking a long time right now. I mean,
I
time is going short, that's all, and the Zoom may fail us. Who knows?
I
Dave, go ahead.
I think that given the nature of the tie and some people not voting either by abstention or by technical difficulties, I think it would be wise to vote to add an amendment to that section so we can vote up and down on that, and that amendment can pass or fail, and then we can vote on the bylaws with the amendment or the bylaws as they stand because the vote on the amendment failed. That would be my recommendation.
That we take the amendment out and vote on the rest of the bylaws, is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying we did a straw vote, which doesn't actually put the amendment on there. And I think if we, given that it's a vote with a lot of abstentions, a tie, and some people that just didn't vote for whatever reason, if we put it up as an amendment, it will pass or fail, and then we can vote for the bylaws with the amendment or without the amendment because it didn't pass.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I don't see the difference myself because it would seem it would still be in a tie vote, and then
I don't know. We did a straw poll, which I think feels
Right.
like it has a different actual weight, and doesn't actually match what we've done in the past. We've voted for things in the past with a nebulous, like vague sentence about, and with the recommended additions, and then we trust that they make their way there. What I'm saying now is that we should vote on the bylaw so we can pass that deadline.
We would
But in
like
order for us to feel good about it, it would be good to have an actual motion to vote to change Article 10, Section 4 to self-affirmation, and then get a vote on the record. And hopefully someone that abstained may vote one way or the other. I'm not electioneering in any way, or someone who didn't vote might have figured out their technical difficulties, and maybe we can text Alonzo or Clifford and see if we can help them out with technical difficulties. But I'm saying because it's a straw vote, if we do an actual vote, it'll give us something to vote on.
So you're saying take that section or that matter, that item out of it right now and vote on it separately afterwards?
No, I'm
Or
saying
vote on it
that we should
first.
actually vote on it in an official
Vote on it
capacity that's
first.
not a straw poll. So that, like,
So-
I'm happy to approve these bylaws if that amendment passes. I'm fine. I'm a big boy. I'd like to vote for them with the amendment in there. And if the majority agrees with me, then I think we should put the bylaws up for a vote.
Okay, so
with the
vote
amendment.
first on the amendment, a proper vote, an official vote on the amendment, right? You may nod your head if you agree.
That's my recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
In other
Okay,
words,
Bart, can you say this, whatever it is, fairly briefly? Bart.
I was just going to ask, just so everybody knows, if Dave could say, just articulate that what he would amend, just so we can all hear it, and because we're going to vote on it imminently.
Okay, thank you. And Arvi, you'll have your hand up already.
Well,
Arvi.
yeah, I just want clarity is to the men to say without by, trusting the person they live in the area and everything by self-verification.
Yes.
And you're gonna add it now with the amendment and just change it to with the amendment? That's what we're voting on now, and not the way it is. They have
So
to be verified.
what we're voting on right now is the amendment. What we're going to vote on first is the amendment and I don't have the number in front of me. The
Article 10, Section 4.
Thank you. And
But Joan, should we be voting separately on that?
so we're
You
voting
know,
separately
Joan,
on that because it was a tie vote. So we're going to take an official vote, and then if it's a tie, I'm not quite sure how it helps us. But
yeah, Joan,
Rosie, yes, your hand is up.
Clifford called. He can't seem to unmute himself, and he just wanted to say that he would vote no. So
You would vote no on that amendment?
yes.
Okay. Is that acceptable to everybody? Because we cannot hear
Yes.
Clifford?
Yes, because we already voted on it, so I see why we're going to keep hanging around with this amendment.
All right. So then if we're going to accept that, as which way does that put us, Rosalie?
Are we re-voting? Sorry.
Not at this moment. Not at this moment. Do we all want to re-vote again?
I just
No.
wanted to state that I think it's a terrible precedent to take a vote by someone else via text being articulated for someone else. I don't think that's a good precedent.
He called. He called because he can't unmute, but
But if we had
anybody unmute him? It used
but
to
if
be that
we,
we could unmute somebody. Is that not possible any longer?
but
Madge?
I think I can try to do that. I just gave Clifford, there we go. I invited him to unmute himself.
Yeah, he can't seem to unmute
No, I
himself.
think he got it now.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, Bart, I think we're going to go and have a vote on the amendment
Okay.
first.
I was
Okay.
also going to say if he can call Rosalie, he can call into this Zoom chat. So that's an
Okay,
option
thank you.
too.
but I don't believe if we voted and it was a 5-5
It was
ending,
4-4
how can we go back and redo it again?
because we didn't really, it was what is called a straw vote as opposed
But I'm just saying at first it would have been acceptable if it went in his way, I believe.
Okay, instead of let's just go on to vote for it. Vote it, and everybody is now unmuted. If everybody would unmute themselves in preparation for the roll call, that would be great. So first I call for the motion.
restate them, whatever it is.
Yes.
Restate, it's to,
We're going to somebody is going to restate the motion to vote on the amendment. And
Okay, I'm happy to do that.
thank you.
I would like to amend Article 10, Section 4, and change it from documentation verification method to voter self-affirmation. That is what I would like to amend.
Thank you. Did I have a second?
I second.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and if there's no further discussion, because I think we have really had a very extensive discussion, I call for the vote, for the roll call.
Joan,
No.
Alonso, is Alonso still here? Okay, Rosalie, no. Magini Nixon,
Yes.
Ronald Robinson.
Absolutely.
Are you abstaining, was that?
Yes.
Okay.
Why don't you pick up so I can take?
Bart Bidlingmeyer,
I am for the amendment.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
No.
Eva Cooper Pace,
I still abstain.
Marvin Bell,
Absolutely no.
Okay. Uh, I don't know. Can
Clifford? Who you
yeah,
going?
well, we're trying to, Barbara is still muted, but
Madge, can you unmute Barbara by any chance?
Unfortunately, all I can do is ask them to unmute. So like Clifford just unmuted himself.
Okay.
okay.
Continue with
Jeremy,
yeah.
Jeremy, go ahead.
Yes.
Vanessa Simmons,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Abstain.
and Clifford McLean.
No.
No, okay. So I think we're back to a tie.
Sounds like a tie again, I think. Mm-hmm.
4, 5.
Alonso's still on the call. I don't know if he's not hearing, but his it shows he's still on, but he didn't respond. So I don't know.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Alonso?
If we're going to keep voting on this, I'm going to leave this meeting because,
Yeah, right. This
yes,
And here
that's over with.
Alonso is trying to say something, but oftentimes he's very low on his volume.
But we have voted on this.
No, I understand,
twice now.
Marvin, but
we're
just to give
tied again.
Alonso the option to say anything.
But if Alonso, are we going to sit on the phone till 12 o'clock at nighttime waiting for Alonso to say something?
I'm trying to say something.
Hey, we hear
There we
you.
go.
Say
There
it.
we go.
Alonso.
Yes.
We need your votes.
My vote is yes.
Yeah, I knew that's
For
what
the
was going on.
amendment?
Yes.
You're voting for the amendment,
Yes.
self-identification. Okay, self-affirmation. So yes, Rosalie, would you like
So
to?
let's we're going to vote on the total bylaws, including the change that in our elections, we will use self-affirmation instead of documentation. So that's the vote.
With the amendment for self-affirmation.
Yes, including. Okay, Joan.
Yes.
Alonso Williams. Total bylaws, including the amendment. Oh.
Alonso, you're muted again.
Yeah, y'all
Come back,
find it when
brother.
y'all want him to vote. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's fair. I think we should stop this vote and what they call that? Table it, because I think people were calling people, asking people to vote, and I don't think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? If the vote went the one way the first time, then you voted again, and then you go find the person, that's wrong. That's
I'm
wrong.
sorry. I never left. I just couldn't get in.
That's wrong. That's wrong. No, they called you. You jump
No,
in when you want to
I've
jump
never
in.
left. I've been sitting for
Enough.
the last 2 hours.
Okay.
Stop.
I have not left.
Enough. I will mute everybody.
Okay, Alonso, are you voting on the total bylaws with the amendment? Is it yes or no or abstain?
I said yes.
Okay, Rosalie Preston, yes. Magini Nixon,
Yes.
Ronald Robinson, Ronald Robinson, Bart Bidlingmeyer,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
No.
Eva Cooper Pace,
I'm not voting on any bylaws I can't see. No. I abstain. Whatever. Whatever
Okay.
you want to make it. I'm not
Uh,
voting on this because
Marvin.
I don't have them.
Okay, Marvin Bell,
No.
Jeremy Guyton,
Yes.
Jeremy. Okay. Vanessa Simmons,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Abstain.
Clifford McLean.
No.
Okay. So the motion passes and we will submit to our department. There was another issue I was going to bring up, but it's just too late because we heard from some other neighborhood councils that the city clerk may not have the money in their budget to even hold an election next year. But anyway, let's just move on.
Let's move on. Yes, thank you. Okay.
And in regards to this having its
Oh, there we go.
thing where you're showing all the pages, could you send it out again?
It was sent out twice by email, but we will.
Can you send it again with how we voted? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't,
Okay. All right.
what we've all voted on. Yes.
Yeah, will be sent out again.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we have two administrative motions which need to be done. Approval of 119.99 cents. $119.99 for renewal of the McAfee virus protection for the HGNNC office computer. Okay, who would make a motion? Go on, people.
I'll make a motion to protect the computer from viruses.
Thank you. And a second?
I second.
Thank you, Frankie. Okay. And there any discussion? No. So Rosalie, I will call for the vote.
Joan Jacobs.
Yes.
Alonzo Williams.
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Maggie Nixon.
Yes.
Ronald Robinson. Barb Billingmeyer.
Yes.
Dave Trejo.
Yes.
Harvey Powell.
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace.
Yes.
Marvin Bell.
Yes.
Jeremy Guyton.
Yes.
Vanessa Simmons.
Yes.
Frankie Mays.
Yes.
Clifford McLean.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. And the next one, and I will request that everybody unmutes themselves before the vote is taken, and then we'll get through it really quickly. Approval of up to $300 for refreshments for vendors at a homeless outreach event on April the 23rd at the Metro Station, Figueroa and 117th Street. And I call for the motion.
So just to clarify, we voted on an outreach event in District 7 at last month's meeting. Barbara is not going to do that, and now she's working with homeless services agencies on a outreach event under the freeway at the 105 110 freeway exchange where the metro station is. Now, our officer earlier said that there's already been a lot of cleanup in that area, but the idea is that homeless services are going to go out and try to work with those who are still there and get them into housing. So we thought we could provide refreshments for all those outreach workers and any homeless who wanted sandwiches and chips. The issue is even if we vote, Barbara still has to create an event approval form, and one of those vendors has to be the host, and we would be the co-host in order to get funding to approve the expenditure. So it's still a little bit up in the air, but
What date is that?
April the 23rd.
Yeah, it's a Thursday. So once we know that it's really going to happen, we'll let everyone know. It's in the daytime. So, because some of us and some may want to participate. So I make a motion to support that expenditure.
I second.
Thank you, Marvin. Okay, is there further discussion or questions? Arvi.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, so then in that case, I would call for the votes, Rosalie.
Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Alonzo Williams,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Maggie Nixon,
Yes.
Ronald Robinson did he drop off? Bart Billingmeyer.
As I said, if you would all unmute before you're called, that would help. Thank you.
Did you get mine? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Jeremy Guyton,
Yes.
Vanessa Simmons,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Clifford McLean.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Then on to item number 7, board business. Is there any board business that we should hear about? Rosalie? Anybody? No? And announcements pertaining to the board. Eva?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to say, if you guys want us to print out what you sent in the email, then that should be clarified, because I didn't print 27 pages when I had a hard copy in front of me that I thought was complete. And there's no reason for me to try, and I'm, like I said, I'm not on a laptop, so reading the screen was difficult.
Okay, thank you, Eva. Thank you very much. Yes.
I don't know
We
what you
will
wanted me to do.
keep that in mind in future, certainly. Thank you.
Keep it in mind of letting us know, and when I bring
Yes.
it to your attention, have an answer.
Yes, it will be, you will be notified in future if you're expected to print them out for yourself. Okay, make hard copies. Okay, thank you. And then reports from committees. No reports from any committees. We've sort of, Frankie, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, just that we're just preparing for the event that Barbara's having. And I'd just like for everyone, all the representatives, to check with your area, so when we do have our call meeting, we'll be ready to decide where we're going to go and how we need to go.
Okay, thank you very much. Any
And
other?
I just want to express gratitude to Ronald Robinson and Barbara Tyson Frazier, who came out to our school event, our Black History Month school leaders event. They came out for like a career day, shared their story, spoke with the kids, and they had big crowds around them listening and hanging on every word. So showing appreciation to the neighborhood council family for coming out and supporting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Very good.
Very good. Okay, our next meeting, I don't mean a special meeting, I mean our next board meeting is the 3rd Tuesday of April, which
It's
is
the second Tuesday of April.
I'm so sorry. Thank you. Yes, the 2nd Tuesday of April.
The
Good.
14th.
14th of April. Right. Okay. So 14th of April is our next board meeting, and I hope to have a special meeting before then when we can get something else sorted out. Okay. I call this meeting adjourned at 9:44 p.m. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for lively discussions and for your input. Okay, and have a good weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, good night.
Thank
Be safe,
you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good meeting. Good night.
No, it wasn't.